Matt Araiza, thanks for coming in and talking with us. Can you kind of set the stage for me, October 2021, this party, off-campus, college area? Why were you there?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. It was meant to be a celebration. We were having a great year, and one of the guys just threw a party at his house and invited all the guys over. And like I said, it was meant to be a celebration of us and all the work we've put in, and it turned out to be a pretty dark stain on the whole school and the football program for sure.
How long were you at the party before you met this girl?
Not long, maybe an hour.
Had you, how much had you drank at the party before you?
I was drinking. I had a designated driver, but I was not drunk by any means.
How many drinks do you think you had had?
I'm not sure. I couldn't give you an exact answer. It was a long time ago.
Do you remember what you were drinking?
I do not exactly know.
Okay. How did you end up meeting this teenager?
I was speaking with one of my teammates, and she kind of butted into our conversation and introduced herself.
And what did she say?
She gave us her name. She started being very forward. It was very clear what she wanted. She was being very flirtatious.
Flirtatious and forward sexually?
Yes.
And at some point you ended up going on the side of the house with her, having sex with her. How did that come to be? Did you lead her onto the side of the house, or how did you end up on the side of the house with her?
I went to the side of the house to urinate. Usually the bathrooms are full of a long line, so not worth it to wait in that line. She follows me. We have a brief encounter. We go back to our friends, say bye. I'm there for maybe an hour more, and that was it.
How long after you met this girl what was the time period between the time you met her and the time you ended up having sex with her on the side of the house?
15 minutes or so.
15 minutes, really?
Yeah, I believe so.
According to the lawsuit, you engaged in oral sex with her, or she engaged in oral sex with you, and sexual intercourse. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that part of the lawsuit is true.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever ask how old she was?
Mm-hmm. I did. She, in what she was telling me, she made it clear that she was very experienced sexually, and that led me to ask the question of how old she was, and she told me she was 18, looked me in the eyes.
Why did you ask how old she was? I mean,
because that goes along with sexual experience. I mean, that goes along with time and age.
It wasn't her appearance or the fact that she had braces or she looked young.
What was?
The reason why you asked how old she was?
No. Mm-mm.
So what was the reason you asked her age?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, she was claiming to be very sexually experienced, and that was where I went in the conversation.
Okay. And you wanted to know that before you engaged in sex with her?
No, that was just a natural question following how she had been acting, to be honest with you.
Okay, very good. During this sex on the side of the house was consensual, right?
Very much so. I mean, we were within an earshot of everyone else. If at any point she didn't want to be there, she could have walked back. Under oath, both of her friends have admitted she came back, bragged about it, was happy, was dancing. So beyond consensual, but enthusiastic.
Was she taking videos with her cell phone? Was anybody taking videos of this particular sexual encounter?
No. The only videos I know of were outside. One of her friends took a video that kind of shows the whole party. We got it in one of our depositions.
You've been deposed in this
I have
case?
not. No, I was scheduled to be, and her attorney canceled it.
Okay. Right, because you know her cell phone was lost, as you probably know, and was never found. Did you ever see her with her cell phone at that point?
No, I never did. That part of the story is very confusing. From what I've heard, her and her friends came back later that night looking for the cell phone. The owner of the house asked to see the Find My iPhone app, and that app put it at a couple houses down the road, so we're kind of confused about that whole thing.
The lawsuit says you gave her a drink. Did you give her a drink?
Absolutely not.
Did you ever see her drinking?
No.
Did you think she appeared drunk?
No, she didn't. She didn't stumble. She didn't slur her words. She was looking me in the eyes, making sense, and her friends are admitting that also under oath.
Okay, very good. And but she was very overly flirtatious, talking about sex, telling you she was 18.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't appear drunk.
No.
Okay, because I've seen this YouTube video of her that was recorded the night before at a completely different party, where she's telling people she's 18, she's going into very graphic details about her past sexual encounters. Have you seen that video?
I have, yes, sir.
Is that the way she was acting the night you met her?
No, more contained for sure. That video is pretty wild.
To you, does she appear drunk in that video?
Borderline. I don't know. I haven't ever met her outside of a party. I don't have anything to compare her personality to. I think that's pretty key in being able to identify something like that.
The fact that she was so overly flirtatious and talking about sex, that didn't indicate to you that she might be drunk? I mean, she was a teenager, and, you know, maybe even now looking back, do you think that she acts like that when she drinks?
That's a very common thing at San Diego State. If the average person could go to a party at San Diego State, this whole story would make a lot more sense. This is not uncommon at all.
It's common to have sex with a stranger 15 minutes after meeting them?
For women to act like that at parties, yes, it is common.
Okay, very good. I've seen also this DA recording, which, when did it come out? Last month. And it was distributed, and it basically records the DA telling her why they are not filing criminal charges. Have you heard that recording?
I have, yes, sir.
It also references some videos that were cell phone videos that were taken in the bedroom. Have you seen any of those cell phone videos?
I have not seen them. In one of my previous interviews, I misspoke and said that I had seen them. That is not true.
Okay,
Just read the couple of descriptions we have. We have descriptions from the police, then we have the transcript and what's described from the audio you just mentioned.
Okay, very good. When the DA announced they were not filing charges against you, what was your reaction? What was your parents' reaction?
We were happy, but with the evidence that we had been told about, it was pretty clear that that would be the decision.
Did you, after the sex acts on the side of the house, did you leave right away?
Pretty shortly after.
I've seen some comments that maybe you left at the end of the party, or do you know when the party broke up? This was around 12:30 in the morning during this party that these sex acts occurred on the side of the house.
No, quite a bit prior to that.
Prior. Yeah. When do you think you left?
Between 12 and 12:30. And from what I've heard, I believe the party ended at 2 a.m., around there.
Which way did you take when you left the party?
I believe I went out. There's a side gate kind of in the back left side of the house, of the backyard.
Did you enter that way as well?
No, I went in through the front of the house.
So you went in through the front door, but you left through the side gate. And you had designated drivers.
I did.
Because you may have been tipsy?
Because I had something to drink, and I wasn't gonna risk that.
And these individuals didn't have anything to drink.
No,
that was
sir.
the plan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any regrets about that night?
Well, obviously, based on the consequences, yeah, I would have rather done anything else that night, for sure. But I can look myself in the mirror and know I didn't do anything evil, never meant to hurt anyone, never did anything to hurt anyone that night.
Do you take any responsibility? You know, does anything rest on your shoulders for what happened that night, or
for the consequences that I've faced?
Yeah, I mean, do you take any responsibility for your actions that night with a young girl, and, you know, the consequences that happened afterwards? I mean, your behavior that night, do you take any responsibility for that?
There's that saying, nothing good happens after midnight, right? I think that could probably go a little bit earlier. So I do. I definitely should have had more of a sense of where my life was going, and that being out at a party like that could cause a number of unfortunate things to happen.
Right. I mean, talk to me a little bit about what happened to your life after this young lady filed the lawsuit and named you.
Yeah, career completely upended. Fired, I believe, 2 days after earning the starting job, and have yet to make it back on a team. So I'm confident that it will happen. I'm confident I will get another shot, but definitely put a big pause on my life.
But you don't blame yourself for any of these consequences?
There's a very big difference between losing your job for something you did and losing your job for something you didn't do. My name was attached to gang rape by every media outlet in the country, even though there was never a gang rape, there was group sex. And secondly, I was never a part of that. So that is something I'm definitely taking in mind when I think about that and my personal choices and what this has caused.
Okay. What's going to make this lawsuit go away, do you think?
I'm not sure. I believe they are under the understanding that they have opened themselves up for liability, and they're going for a Hail Mary, a jury that believes in emotions over facts and evidence, is how I see this.
Was there an offer of $50,000 to settle the case?
There was, yep.
Who made that offer? What happened?
Her attorney presented that offer to my attorney, and my attorneys knew that I wasn't going to take it. They're obligated to present it to me, and I gave it a day to think about it, even though I knew where my mind was at immediately. And no, I will not pay money after the damage has been done, and I will not pay money for a lie to be retracted.
Could you settle the lawsuit and just walk away and resume your career?
I could, but I believe that would be seen as an admission of guilt. I believe that's somewhat how I see it. And when I've heard about these stories in the past and you hear about a civil lawsuit being presented to someone, then all of a sudden it goes away and it's dropped, I think the obvious explanation is, well, they settled. And in my mind, that's an admission of guilt. I'm not at all concerned that a jury will bring a judgment against me.
Are you going to sue Dan Gillian? Are you going to sue the accuser? Are you going to sue San Diego State?
I will not sue San Diego State. I will sue Dan Gillian. My one offer will be I will offer to not sue her if the lawsuit is dropped now. We're both very young. Let's move on with our lives.
Right, you are both very young. What would you say to her at this point? I know you had a pretext telephone call with her, but what would you say to her now that all of these details have come out?
Just exactly that. Our lives have both been chaotic over the past 9 months, and it's time to move on. The world knows the facts now. Let's just move on.
Have you had a conversation with your parents about, what happened at the party that night and your judgment in participating in at least what you say is consensual sex with this complete stranger?
Yeah, of course I've spoken to them about it.
What did they tell you? What's your?
Well, at first the focus was on life and what was going on and what was to come. You are right. It wasn't the best judgment, but if having a hookup in college warranted you losing your job, losing your career, the unemployment rate would multiply by 10. Let's be very real. This happens. It happens at every college campus across the entire country every weekend.
And just if you could reiterate, you actually thought she was 18 and you had no inclination that she was drunk?
Of course. Not in a million years would I believe that a high schooler would sneak into a college party. That's not on anyone's mind. And I've asked around, I go, to teammates, to people I knew in college, did you ever think that anyone at these parties was a high schooler? And every answer has been no.
And the fact that you may have been drinking didn't cloud your judgment as to your perception as to whether she may have been drinking or drunk?
No.
Okay, very good. Final question. Do you think this civil case is going to have to end before any team considers hiring you?
I do not. No. I believe I'll be getting a shot very soon. That's in my heart. That's in my mind. That's what I'm preparing for. That's what I believe.
Why do you think that?
Because the evidence is there. All the evidence is there. All the facts are there. We can give any team all the evidence to where if they decide to sign me, they can sit in front of a press conference and I'll do it myself and field questions like this and go through the entire night and the facts and the evidence. And people don't just have to believe me at my word. The 35 witnesses, the 9 videos. The night is not a he said, she said type of thing. This is not where we're going to be going after each other's character and who do we trust here. The evidence is perfectly laid out.
And I know you probably don't want this to all play out in court. I mean, depositions taking the witness stand, you know, it seems like there has to be some way to settle this if, in fact, there was no wrongdoing on your part.
I'm unwilling to settle. That will not happen.
And Dan Gillian, you think you're going to sue him?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you for coming in and speaking with us.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.